Yes, sir. Y'all, welcome back. Welcome back.
Black star like the bronze bomber, I shine harder. Detroit red for my people who like the Godfather. We gotta talk economics, bonding and feel false. Here they give you the real pulse. Tieltalk.
Y'all know what time it is when you hear that. It's go time. I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes so I let more people get in here. I got a good one for y'all tonight. And if y'all didn't get a chance, make sure y'all go on YouTube and check out my last Tieltalk with my boy Walt Bell III. My man's was just an overall hustler. You know, he could sell salt to a slug. So if y'all didn't get a chance, make sure y'all go check that out, because that was a great interview. And I got I'm telling y'all, today I got a banger for y'all. Because I'm telling y'all, my next guest, she an expert in something so near and dear to my heart that, oh my goodness, I'm going to let a little bit more people come in. Y'all, I can't give everything away. Let a couple more people get in here. Brown Sugar Crown, hello. Hello. We gonna get there. I gotta play my intro video again. Shout out to my boy TJ, man. He also got married yesterday. Tieltalk alum right there.
Black star like the bronze bomber, I shine harder. Detroit red for my people who like the Godfather. We gotta talk economics, bonding and feel false. Here they give you the real pulse. Tieltalk.
Yeah. Y'all know what it is. And you know. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and get started this evening, y'all. So look, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tieltalk episode 20. Woo! Gave y'all 20 bangers consecutively. Like, y'all better quit playing with your boy. Episode 20, I am your host, Til, and this is the platform where we discuss all things regarding the culture. Now, today, my next guest, right? Now, if y'all been on the page, y'all been paying attention, I've been posting her whipping skills. Like, she really liked that in that kitchen. Y'all better quit playing with her. Like, for real. Y'all really need to put some respect on her name. So let me go ahead and give y'all the rundown. So, my next guest, Topaze, right? Gotta get her name right because I'm all about respect, y'all. So listen, my next guest, right? She's a wife, bonus mom, pharmaceutical professional, self-taught chef, caterer, and top-tier foodie. Emphasis on top tier. Y'all hear that? Emphasis on that, because she top tier. She don't do none of that low-budget stuff, so quit playing with her. Her culinary exploration started early in her life. Both her grandmother and her mother were phenomenal cooks, so she just a chip off the old block. Y'all know what's going on. As she grew older, she was able to travel. Her culinary plate continued to expand. So she got outside, taste new stuff. She add new tools to her bag, and I love it. She calls herself a top tier foodie because the term foodie is used so loosely these days. She loves to seek out new places, flavor profiles, spice blends, and culture specific food. So y'all, come on, really, stop playing with her. Like, we got a good one. She started her catering company on a whim in 2014. Who y'all know could just be like, you wanna know what? I'm gonna wake up, it's a normal day, I'm gonna start a catering company. My next guest, cause she's in her bag, so y'all better put some respect on her name. So she started that on a whim in 2014 with the help of her husband, of course, and they haven't looked back since. So the difference they have between other catering companies is exclusivity. They are so exclusive, y'all. Exclusive, top tier. I mean, if you've been paying attention to my stories, you've been seeing the aesthetics of it. It's aesthetically pleasing. You look at it, you're like, my mouth is watering, and I need that. So while they plan to expand the brand, they love having the mystique and privacy that allows them to show up to an event while they're guests and leave the people wondering, who are they? And how can we get them at our next event? So basically, y'all, look, my next guest say, look, make sure you fed, get that bread, then leave. So without further ado, welcome Topaze. I'm finna go ahead and send her an invite, y'all. So go ahead and hang on. There we go. Make sure she getting here all right. Just sent her an invitation. We got a good one, y'all. Please don't worry, because she finna come on here and do her thing. I got a gazillion questions. If y'all know me, y'all know I am greedy and I love to eat. Here we go. There we go. Topaz, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I am good. I am great. Even better, I got you on here. We ready to roll. So first, thank you for coming on Tieltalk, the platform that discusses all things regarding the culture. I was so happy when you agreed to come on because the story behind it was I was just scrolling through my followers. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd be thirsty. I'm looking who follow me and what we doing.
Mm,
I'm always trying to, make sure I give my followers something or somebody that they could use as somebody that would be, a little useful. So I'm looking at your page. I'm like, wow, she cooking on there. Like she she is in her bag. And so, I extended the olive branch. I reached out and I do appreciate you for coming on Till Talk. So how you doing?
I'm doing really well. Actually, I appreciate you for having me. It's one of those things like I just kind of do what I do. I stay in my own lane. So I appreciate you noticing and reaching out. So here we are.
Oh, of course, of course. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So let's just start with the basics. Can you just tell us where you're from? Just some basic background
Mhm.
information. Where you're from, how you grew up. If you was the oldest of four, youngest of five, go ahead
Yeah.
and break us in real quick.
So I'm born and raised St. Louis. I've been in St. Louis my whole life. Um,
STL.
Yep. Yep. Don't ask me what high school I went to because then we're gonna go down a whole nother rabbit hole. Don't ask me. And not that I'm ashamed, but that takes you to a whole nother different conversation.
Right,
But I
right.
am the youngest of five, so there's five
Okay.
of us. So typically the youngest child is the perfect child because
Me, that's
after your
me.
mom, right? So after the last one, your mom was like, "Boom, I got it. This is the one." So I'm the baby of five.
Oh, that's what's up. You want to know one thing I do know is when you the youngest, your mom and your pops, everybody that made the mistakes with the first four, if you ain't figured it out by five,
Yeah.
you ain't
Yep.
paying attention. Okay, so you are a pharmaceutical professional and
Yes,
a self-taught chef.
I am.
I want to dive into the self-taught part. So, like, first of all, okay, your grandma and your mom were phenomenal cooks.
Hmm.
Okay, so how did you learn? Did you learn with them? Were they telling you, hey, this is what you need in there? Or was it just you kind of learn by watching?
So it was more of a learn by watch, right? And then
Hmm.
like typically, we didn't. It wasn't. Of course, we did like the traditional soul food, whatever. But my grandmother was the first person that I knew to make
Hmm.
fried rice, like I outside of an Asian restaurant, right?
Right,
And like till this day, like I have the family fried rice recipe. It's not written down. It's just one of those things. Like I know how it tastes from watching
right.
her and kind of seeing that process through time after time again. So I am the crown jewel holder of the fried rice recipe of my family. It's everybody wants it like around Christmas time, but I hold it near and dear. It's like I can make some for you, but I'm
Hmm.
not coming up off of the recipe. So, and then too, like it's one of those things. Like as the palate expands, you tend to, it's when people say, "Oh, I tasted this apple pie and it's missing X, Y, and Z." So as as you expand your palate, those are the type of things
Right.
that you can pick up on. So as I like grew, with her cooking and my mom's cooking, I realized I like this, but if you add this, it kind of elevates the flavors to the next level. So that's how I grew into my food knowledge.
Wow. Okay. You say I'm so thorough with it. I don't even need to write it down. It's all up here. And that's
Yeah.
the best recipe because, you got kids, you can kind of pass it down the same way. And then, of course, we both being from the Lou, oh, that fried rice just got a special
Yeah.
place in your heart.
Yep.
Like, and if you can make it at home and ain't gotta pay money, oh, that's even better.
Yeah. And it's one of those
So,
things, like, even for me, like, there's certain things that I don't buy out just
mhm,
because, like, my grandma has such a good recipe, and, you know, so
mhm.
it's almost tainted. Like, I can't have it anywhere else because it's never going to be as good.
Of course, I completely agree. Once you get that grandma special in there, no outside influences can even mess with it. So who would you say inspired you to start learning how to cook? Your grandma and your mom, or who?
um, I I won't say. I just food is just a huge part of, you know, my life in general. We have a big
Hmm.
family. My mom comes from a family of 11. You know, so I have a ton of cousins, and so a lot of, you know, those good memories that you have kind of start with a meal or a birthday
Right.
party or a
Yep.
celebration of some sort. So, you know, it's you you know, you have those food memories connected to some of the best memories of your life, like growing up in places that you've been. So that's kind of where the inspiration comes from, to keep that going, those good feelings, those good memories, all the things that you create around food, you know,
Hmm.
and not necessarily the love of food, but the celebration of it and the fellowship of it and the congregation of the people that you love the most, or people that, you know, you care about. So that's kind of the inspiration of keeping it going. And good food especially, right? Because you can leave a place and be like, oh my God, that was the best, you know, macaroni and
Right.
cheese I ever had, or the best piece of
Right.
pie I ever had. And those are the memories that you hold on to.
That's very true, because you do associate those memories with some good food. You be
Hmm.
like, ooh, hey, that lasagna mama made was
Yep.
hitting. Like, y'all remember at that family reunion when that lasagna was
Hmm.
hitting? Like, you right about that. So tell us your favorite dish to make.
I get this question so much, and it's difficult to say that because, um, you know, when I'm in the mood, I literally will go in my kitchen, see, kind of make an assessment of what I have, and just kind of
Hmm.
throw something together. But I would probably say, if I had to say, as of late, like, I love a good lamb chop. Like, lamb chop, we have
Mm.
some on the grill right now, actually. That's kind of our speed. So as of late, we've been going into like this lamb chop thing, jerk lamb chops. If you probably saw it on my page. If you didn't, go back and
I
look.
did.
But we
I
have,
did.
yep. So we have some lamb chops, and I like making it so much because I'm kind of always in pursuit of creating my next best recipe. So
Hmm.
every time I make the jerk lamb chops, they taste better and better. But then I kind of add something and take something out. So that's kind of the vibe we're in my house right now.
Okay, lamb chops. You can't go wrong with them. You just
Yeah.
can't go wrong. So, name your top three favorite seasonings to use in your food.
Ooh. I would probably say smoked paprika is one. You know,
Okay.
people always so people overutilize regular paprika just
Hmm.
because it looks pretty and for the aesthetic, but it really doesn't have a lot of flavor. But the smoked paprika actually does bring like a smoky note, so that's kind of one of my secret weapons.
Okay.
Um, ground fennel is one. Like,
Mm.
people don't really understand like the aromatics that it brings to specific dishes, especially poultry. So I would
Okay.
probably say ground fennel is one. And then kind of like my own spice blend that I make up for blackening. So any kind of blackening seasoning. I make my own blends just because I like what I like and I know what that
Uh-huh.
flavor profile should taste like to me. So my homemade blackening seasoning would probably be my third top one. Yeah.
Okay, so you got your own stuff then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. She said you ain't a real chef if you ain't got your own stuff. Like, gots to have it. I
No,
love
no, I am not disqualifying anyone. I think everybody is capable and
that.
talented. But for me, I just like what
Uh-huh.
I like.
Okay. Hey, y'all heard the woman. She liked what she liked. She said what she said. How would you describe your cooking style?
I would probably describe my cooking style as creative and classic. I
Okay.
like a lot of classic recipes, but just kind of the elevated version. You know, you can have fried chicken a million ways, right? You can have
Right.
mac and cheese a million ways, but it's the creativity of it. Um, so I would probably say it's probably classic creative cooking is my style.
Classic creative cooking. I absolutely love it. I love it. Tell us something that you love about your job.
Well, my day job or my culinary job.
Your culinary job, excuse me.
So the thing that I love most about, creating like good experiences around food is just the vibe, right? Like it just creates like anytime that somebody like invites me places, if
Hmm.
they prepare a meal for me, that's different than ordering food, right? Because
Right.
you thought enough of me to go and take your time and prepare something with love. So I would probably say that's something that I love that.
That's what's up. I'm glad you do it. That may be one of those feelings like you want to know what I appreciate that. Like, okay, you
Yeah,
took
like it makes
time.
you feel it's a very comforting, like loving exchange really to make food for people.
Yes, it is. So let's transition into your catering company,
Hmm.
Sweet Face Confections.
Yeah.
So, as I stated earlier, if y'all was listening, she started it on a whim in 2014 with her husband. Tell us more about that. What was this whim? Like, how did the conversation go?
So my husband, he doesn't give himself enough credit. Like he's like a creative, like genius. Like he's a think tank.
Uh,
He has all this stuff like going on in his head, and we can have a conversation, and then he'll shoot out this idea, but he has a brilliant pitch behind it, right?
mm-hmm.
So I'm like, babe, you have to write this stuff down, whatever. So like we were just like hanging out. He was like, it was somewhere around like Valentine's Day, and he was like, honey, we should do like chocolate covered strawberries, and I'm like
Mm-hmm.
out in my mind, like I was like, that's so lame, right? So, but I was like, sure, let's do it. So we just literally went to like our local Costco.
Mm-hmm.
We got strawberries and we did the whole bit. So I guess like in 2014, we maybe had, I don't know, 30 orders or something, from like our friends. You know how it goes,
Right,
right?
right,
And so I'm like, we can kind of do this. Like it was fun. It
right.
was new and it wasn't the traditional like go to Deerberg's and get chopped. It was like hand
Right.
dipped. Like we were up probably 8-10 hours dipping all of
Ooh,
these strawberries, right?
right.
But literally like the next year, 2015 was insane. Like people heard about it. The chocolate covered strawberries were phenomenal. And I think we expanded like in the first year to upwards of 300 orders. So we really went
Mm,
from just in our kitchen, like making these strawberries on like these sheet
right.
trays that we had. And then it like ballooned to something magical. And then kind of everything else fell under that umbrella. Then that's when
Mm-hmm.
the food part of it was always there, but it really started out as a chocolate covered strawberry and dessert business. And I love desserts and I love all of that. But I'm not a
Right,
scientific person. So
right.
I like the creativity that food allows you, and I already have the skill. So we just married it all together and it just turned into something super amazing.
Wow. So you started with the strawberries and now
Yeah.
you here. You got a little bit of everything on there. I love that. Hey,
Yeah.
see, hey, and you never would have knew that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's the gift. The strawberries was the gift they kept on giving. And
Yep,
you
and
didn't even know it.
if you look at the logo, like it's a little cupcake in there because that's where we started, and it's
Okay.
amazing. And we love the logo, and like we're in a huge transition, just like with the business and that sort of thing, and just kind of
Hmm.
position it in different ways. So I don't want to let the logo go, but it's probably going to be part of the transition too.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. It is nothing wrong with that. I like to ask this question to all my guests with
Mhm.
businesses, companies, or whatever it is. How did you come up with the name?
So there's a youngest daughter in my house, and she'll be 13 in a couple of weeks, but she at that point she was like super sweet, and like when she was in trouble she would give us like the sweetest face. And I wanted, like, one day she was just on my last nerve, and I mean riding it down. And I said something to her, and she like looked at me, and she like tilted her head, and she gave me like the sweetest smile. And I was like, you know what, you sweet face little girl, because I wanted to say some real colorful stuff. And that's where it came from. That's where the name came from, sweet face.
That's nice. I like that. That's it. I always get a unique answer with that because
Yeah.
you just never know. And I was so curious from when I first looked at your page. I'm like, I wonder how she got that name. And now I know.
Yep.
So now I got a couple other things to ask you. I got a million questions, and I'm gonna get an
Okay.
audience some time to ask their questions. But can you tell us about one of your funniest kitchen incidents, whether it's funny or whatever it is? Give us a little bit of humor in there if you can.
So I would probably say we did like a baby shower. And you know, these people, they had this expansive menu, right? It was probably maybe 10, 12 appetizers on the menu. So it was like a production. So, and it was during COVID. So they wanted everything like individualized so that people could just walk up and grab it and they didn't need servers and all of that. Right. So, you know, of course we go through the initial, you know, is there a kitchen on site? All of these, you know, the basic questions, right? And the lady was like, yeah, there's a kitchen on site. You guys will have access. Everything will be great. So we get to the place. We have all of this food with us, like lugged it in. We go into the kitchen and we're like breaking down. We're getting ready to get started. And this guy comes busting in the kitchen a million miles an hour. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, we're prepping, you know, we've turned on like the warmer, like all this stuff. He was like, you can't use that. And I'm like, okay, so we have food for 200 people that we need. And well, apparently there was access to the kitchen, but the guest, the person who booked with us, did not pay him for access to his kitchen. So while there was kitchen on site and access to the kitchen on site, it was for an additional fee. I just happened to look up, and it was like a blessing in disguise that the guy who actually owned the banquet center was somebody that I went to high school with. And I mean, he was probably a couple of years, you know, ahead of me in high school, but I just remembered him. And of course, the old adage, did you go to specific high school? And he was like, oh yeah. So boom, that just like opened the door. So he was like, you know, use it as long as you clean it, as long as everything is in tip top shape when you guys leave, it's all good. But yeah, like we were stuck. But of course, like in so many of those situations, you always have to come prepared. So for us, the ultimate like experience is fresh food, right? So we always bring our food with us as hot, as fresh as possible. So a lot of the things we didn't really need to do anything. Like the food was warm enough to serve, so we weren't crippled by the fact that he wouldn't have let us use the facilities.
Wow. That's called being resilient right there. You know what I'm saying? You got to be prepared for anything at all times. I absolutely love that. Okay, so do you have any food that you absolutely just you don't like cooking?
Not that I don't like cooking. I mean, there's things that have challenged me for sure. Like I've never been able to cook like or steam an artichoke for whatever reason. But that's one of those things. It's like I don't eat it enough to cook it enough, so I just eat it when I go out. But I would probably say I don't. That would probably be the only thing that is giving me difficulty.
Okay, I like that. All right, you keeping it 100. So y'all at the crib. Let's say it's Sunday night. Y'all like, yeah, we finna eat something good. You cooking or?
Oh no.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
nope,
here we go.
All good. Okay. You said Sunday night at the house. What's happening?
Sunday night at the house. So who's cooking the meal? Y'all gonna rock, paper, scissors for that thing, or how y'all do it?
No. So, I mean, kind of one of the things that comes with being like a chef, like you cook for everybody. So it's like people kind of do whatever they do for therapy. It doesn't matter typically for me how long my day has been. If I can come home, cook something in the kitchen, feed my family, I kind of process my stuff through that. So that's kind of my therapy. But my husband is a fantastic cook. He just looked up with me. But he did. Like he won. He won.
Okay.
But he is a fantastic cook, but he's not necessarily a creative, right? So he can make good food, but he's not going to create a recipe for good food, if that makes sense.
Hey, tell him I'm the same way, because if we ever cooking, my girl cook, I'm sous chef.
Yeah.
You know, if she needs some, hey, babe, go over there and wash them off or cut this up. I can do that, but I always watch, and that's what's up. So now I want to turn it over to the audience, y'all. If y'all got any questions, go ahead, ask away. But I will ask y'all, put your questions in if y'all look to the bottom right of y'all screen, y'all see the question mark with the little circle with the little tail. Please put y'all questions in there, because if you put it in just the normal chat, it's going to be last priority. I'm giving a high priority to whoever put the questions. You go ahead, tap that, and it'll say questions, and go ahead and ask away, because I know y'all got some. So while they getting their thoughts together, you know I got a billion of them. So name 3 things you would consider like your cooking strengths. Do you think that you're very well with preparing things in a short amount of time, or a dessert, or whatever it is?
Yeah, so I would probably say my top 3 strengths in the kitchen are always preparation. That's one. Preparation will save you time after time again. Like you hear people say, "Oh, I hate cooking. It takes so long." That's because they're not prepared, right? Because you have to get home, thaw the meat, do this and do that. So for me, I bring home my groceries, my meat. If kind of depending on where I am, I'll season my poultry, freeze it. So that way when it's unthawed, it's already seasoned. Boom, that's already done. So prep my stuff first, always. And then always, my second thing will probably be always having a fully stocked pantry. Like there is so much value in that. Cooking is not expensive. It can be if you want to create something that you saw on Pinterest and now you have to buy 86 ingredients, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's expensive. For me, everything that I need, and it takes a while to build that, right? But everything that I need to cook, create, whatever is already in my pantry. Typically, the only thing that I go to the grocery store for is fresh ingredients. So fresh, because we don't really eat a lot of canned foods. So, a lot of fresh produce and that sort of thing. And then thirdly, I would probably say creating stuff on a whim. Like it just depends on whatever I'm feeling. Like, I mean, my freezer is stocked. We have steaks, we have scallops, we have shrimp, we have branzino, we have everything in the freezer. So anything I'm feeling, I have easy access to, and we just level it up.
Okay, creativity. She say, look, I can literally turn water into wine over here, y'all. So whatever y'all want to do, come holler at your girl. Okay, we got some questions coming in. Brown Sugar Crown says, have you ever had to cater for an all-vegetarian/vegan party or pescatarian party? If so, what was on the menu?
Oh, so this is great. So, and it was a challenge for me. So we did, I guess this has probably it's been a little bit over a year ago. I'm fortunate enough, I have a fantastic network of people that I know in some really good Fortune 500s, nonprofits, a lot of that. So I get the good plug on a lot of things, and I'm grateful for that. But, we were booked for a charity event, and, they came back with all the budget details and all of that. And then they said, oh, and by the way, we want 4 vegan dishes. And I'm like, oh, okay, right? My first thought, now I will eat vegan food. I have no opposition to vegan food. But the vegan food that I've found is really them trying to make it taste like meat. I don't want it to taste like meat. I want it to taste good. So we ended up, and it was a brunch, which was super cool because brunch is my absolute favorite. I am a brunch girl. I will brunch you down.
Brunch me down.
So we did like a chickpea and red pepper scramble, which was phenomenal. My husband doesn't even like chickpeas, beans, anything associated in the bean family. He liked it. We did like kind of a traditional like Alfredo pasta, but we substituted, almond milk and that sort of thing.
Right.
What else did we do? We had a sweet potato hash on the menu. So yeah, I mean, we've done vegan. We can do vegan. Vegan food is phenomenal. But, it's just I don't like the idea that, people take vegan food and they're like, well, we want to make it taste like this.
Right.
No, just create good vegan food. And I think that's the difference between them and me.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Brown Sugar Crown say, "Me too, girl. We're the mimosas." I feel that. Okay. Our Anita Spears Bird, she's saying, "Do you have a restaurant?" Yes, she has a catering business. I will let her explain.
So, no, I do not have a restaurant. I am not interested in spending 16 or 17 hours of my life tied to a building. I love, love, love the private industry because you literally go in, create, deliver, let people enjoy your food, and then you go home. I don't have employees. I don't have a liquor license. I don't have to pay all these ancillary bills. Like, I don't have to
Right.
do any of that. And then, I get another phone call like, hey, we have a bigger budget. Can you come back? So
Right. Right.
I love, because I love dining out, but I am not a restaurant person by any means. I don't want to be tied to a building in a restaurant. It's a huge responsibility to run a restaurant.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't really realize that because you just get so caught up and, well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just go here and eat. But if to actually run it, like you said, it really it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I got a question. So I hear you talking about creativity and all of that. Where do you get that creativity from? Where is it inspired from anything or anybody? You watch a lot of cooking shows, or do you think it's just natural? You just kind of just naturally was born with the gift.
Yeah, so I would probably say it's a combination of, a natural born ability to adapt and
Hmm.
create, and then also, from having a good chunk of life experiences, being able to go a lot of places.
Hmm.
That also helps, but I would probably definitely say it's kind of one of those innate abilities to create and really understand, kind of like I said in my biography, understand flavor profiles and what goes, well with a certain protein, or
Hmm.
what brings out the best flavor in a specific vegetable, and like cooking methods and temperatures and all of those things. So it's not, I think cooking can be complicated. I will say
Right.
that. But that's the beauty of it, right? Because
Right.
the
Right.
end result is phenomenal. I had someone that didn't like Brussels sprouts, but they never had a roasted Brussels sprout. And
Mm.
that took it to the next level for them. They're like, I would have never thought to roast a Brussels sprout. And now
Hmm.
they're hooked. So it really is just expanding your mind to different flavors and different preparations. You would be surprised at the things that you really enjoyed.
That's what's up. Okay, we got another question. Brown Sugar Crown says, "Do you do pop-up events or festivals locally?"
So I've done a few pop-up events. I've done a few. It's
Oh,
not top. It's not top priority for me, to be honest. Like I said, I kind of do what I do in a way that's exclusive to the people that I serve. So, not that the people in those pop-up shop environments don't, serve me. It's one of
hmm.
those things though that I'm not necessarily interested in for the business that I'm in and the way that we produce.
I feel that. Yeah, I was listening earlier. The thing that sets them apart is exclusivity. So she like, hey, I can't just be, look, I'm jamming so much and my stuff is so top tier that I can't just be doing pop-up. Y'all gonna have to book me, pay that
It,
money. Like,
Well, but don't say that because it's not about the money, but it really is about, and I like people like Miss Erica Badu said the best. I'm an artist, and I am
I'm
sensitive about
sensitive
my
about,
ish, right?
okay, I feel
So,
that. I
so
feel that.
I keep a lot of my, because people ask me all the time, oh, can I have your recipe? And that's that's personal to me, right? That's my intellectual
Right.
property. I can make something
Mm-hmm.
for you. I'm happy to share with you, but my recipes are kind of my own, and I hold those near and dear to my heart. So I'm just not going to be out here, sharing recipes. There's more to come,
Right, right.
Live from 5313 cookbook is on the way. So
Okay.
yeah, we'll get there.
Okay. So within your cooking career so far, what are you most proud of? Like what would you say is your biggest accomplishment? Something that you can be like, you want to know what, I came a long way and I'm proud of this.
So I would probably say the thing that I'm most proud of really is the consistency and the clientele that we've built, the support that we've built, the community and network of people that we've serviced.
Right.
A lot of people that utilize our services, are people who were so impressed from day one, and they
Mm-hmm.
continue to support and continue to buy in. And those are the people who I love to do it for, right? Because I know that they're invested in me and I'm invested in them. And then they also know that it's a quality product. Like I had a
Mm-hmm.
CEO tell me, somebody who's traveled around the world, been a gazillion places, tried food from all over the world. He told me, he was like, this is the absolute best crab cake I've ever had in my life. So those are
Okay.
the things. That's why I do it. That's why I love it. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I
Okay.
love it.
Okay. So are you booked up more? Now, does it depend on the time of the year, whether it's a holiday or whatever it is? Do you get more people wanting to book you?
It doesn't. It really, like, we do about comfortably, just because, it's so small and our little labor force is so small,
Mm-hmm.
but we probably do about 50 events a year. So we
Okay.
really have to be strategic with our calendar and our time. My
That's
husband
what's
is
up.
super busy. He works for a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
I am typically traveling 3 to 4 days a week for work. So we have to be super strategic in how we plan our calendar and what we can and cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody will ever get subpar from me. Nobody.
Right.
So I have to make sure that I'm able to give the people that book me, my clients, the absolute best, and give them what they pay for. So
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't matter the season. It really is book us early, because right now people are like begging and we can't do it. So we can't
Okay.
do it.
Okay. I love that. All right, y'all, keep coming with the questions. Don't be shy now, y'all. Don't be shy. Go ahead and put that question in that box. She giving y'all gold right now. I'm talking about, hey, we throwing them questions out there. She answering them like, bow, bow, take that. She like, what y'all want to do?
So
What
I
would
will
you
ask you a
say?
question. I'm going to ask you a
Oh, go
question.
ahead.
So
Oh,
what would you
this is a
say?
first here on Teal Talk,
Yeah.
y'all. Hold on now.
So
All right, I'm ready.
I'm going to ask you a question. So what would you say is like your fondest memory surrounding food? Like, what is your best food memory?
My best food memory. That is a great question. I will probably have to say it would have to be Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was young, and this was Thanksgiving at my aunt house. We were out there in Elmwood.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember being able to eat until I could throw up if I wanted to. Like I was about maybe 10 or 11. And I just
Mm-hmm.
remember my mama made the lasagna and macaroni, and my aunt made the mustacholi. And it was just like, it was one of those things to where it was like, man, I got my family around. You
Yep.
got great food. Like nothing really beats that. I'm a family man. I'm very family
Mm-hmm.
oriented. And then you throw food in there. I'm very greedy. Anybody who know
Yeah.
me know I'm coming through and I'm eating. You need to cook for about 3 people, and then that's gonna be my serving. That's my portion.
Good.
That is
So
my
I listen,
portion. But
I
that's a
won't
great
put you on the
question.
spot. I won't put you on the spot. I will not judge you. However, I have to ask.
Okay.
What is your favorite restaurant in St. Louis? Your favorite?
In St. Louis,
Yes.
hmm. See, now I'm vegetarian. I've been vegetarian for about 9 months.
Okay.
But take that
But
out of
before
it.
you crossed over,
Before I crossed, it would have to
yes.
be. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm old school, so it would have to be Old Country Buffet before they change the name. That's
No,
it for me.
come on,
Yeah,
really?
I like catered food like that. Like I just want to go eat. I'm an all you can eat type of guy.
Now,
But
see,
now,
I said that I was not gonna judge you, but
here
feel
we
judged right
go.
now. You should
Okay.
feel judged.
All right, all right. I ain't want to
You
get
should
too
feel judged.
fancy and say Ruth Chris because I only been there 3 times. Like
That's
I,
not
I'm,
too fancy though.
I'm gonna keep it simple.
No, that's not too fancy. That's where I had my wedding reception.
Ooh, well, I changed my answer. I want Ruth Chris. They had that chocolate lava, that volcano cake. You had that?
Yep.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
the only dessert that we get when we go there is carrot cake. Like my husband is a carrot cake connoisseur, so if there's carrot cake on the menu, we're gonna order it.
Okay. All right. Carrot cake. Hey, hey, to each his own, different strokes for different folks. So it looks like we don't have no more questions coming through. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But
Okay.
before we leave, I have one last question. I like to end all my shows with this. What can we expect from you in the future?
So as far as the food goes, I mean, it's going to continue to, expand and grow. We are currently just like, revamping some things, what direction we're going to be going into next. So, I haven't been posting a lot of things because we're just trying to, fine tune on the direction that we're going next. But
Okay.
definitely there could potentially be a Live from 5313 cookbook in the works.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so to be determined. To be determined.
Well, y'all heard the lady, and you heard it here first on Tieltalk, the platform that discusses all things regarding the culture. I thank you for your time, and I will be reposting any and everything that you post. And you are now a hashtag Tieltalk alum.
I
So thank
appreciate it.
you for your time. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. And for those of y'all wondering, the video will be on YouTube tomorrow. So if y'all ain't catch the live video, go ahead, subscribe, and make sure you like the video. So with that being said, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you and
Thank
absolutely
you.
love the interview. I can tell you've been here before. So without further ado, y'all, look, thank y'all. Teal signing out. Topaz, I hope you have a good one, and thank you for coming on Teal Talk.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.